I said, this is a great way for you to get involved and begin um, protecting your kids in a way that's different than when they're just at home in your four walls. And so from that and just hearing the stories, being exposed to some of the victims of domestic violence and hearing their stories and what they came from and what these kids, what they see at home and what they've been involved in, man, that to me, that's really what broke my heart is seeing those kids and just trying to put myself in their shoes, and at the same time knowing I wanted to protect my girls from being involved in an abusive relationship. One of the good things about DART, not only are they, and I think this was talked about in the previous segment, not only are they involved in the lives of women, but they're involved in the lives of the children too, and protecting or getting that word out at school, in the elementary schools and the high schools, to these young girls saying, look, you don't have to put up with this. That's not normal, And then two, pushing that on the guys, saying that's not normal either, guys. That's not the way you do things. And so again, that's how I got involved and why I got involved. I tell you though, from a little different story, I don't know anybody personally that's been abused or been in an abusive relationship, but I do know someone that was a victim of domestic violence and lost her life over it. And what was I guess so heart-wrenching about that is I knew her and her husband both, and would have never thought that could have happened between between that couple. And it was just a reminder for me of you never know what's going on in behind closed doors.
Number to call if you want, 318-513-9373. Tim, I appreciate you stepping up to the mic. Josh Payrow from the Louisiana National Bank, also veteran of Men Standing Strong, also community activist. Josh, when did you first find out about DART?
Yeah, I think the first year in 2012 when Men Standing Strong started is the first year that I got involved with anything with DART. The story for that one is, I believe Mr. Rusty Woodard, who I've known forever and knowing him growing up in Ruston, know him through the bank, he placed a phone call or sent a text message to myself and his son, a good friend of mine, Russell Woodard, and said, hey, I've made your donation, you're a part of this, I want you to get involved. And so it was a great start to get involved there. It got us interested, it got me interested, made me a little more aware. And I remember, if I'm remembering right, that first year, I think we took the picture in the lobby of Origin Bank. And after being in that picture and seeing those posters all around town of men that I've known growing up here in Ruston and in this community, standing beside them and knowing about this cause, it made me want to stay in that picture.
John?
I know it can be impactful to others.
Well, it's a dark subject, and it stays a dark subject because the light is not allowed in by Men Standing Strong, shines the light in. And also, Josh, if I may pick this up from what I understand, Tim had said this is not normal. I may correct that in the sense that a young man or young boy may be watching their father abused, so therefore he thinks that's normal, so therefore it's a learned behavior, and it's not right, regardless of, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so, Josh, in your exposure to DART, what was the one story or that you took away that, you know what, this is more than essential?
I don't know that there's one particular story. I've not been so directly connected that I've heard and seen a lot of the stories. I've gone to some of the vigils and things, but it's just the overall awareness and the education piece and having it out there and having it public. I'll go back to talking about that picture a little bit. So many of us that have grown up in the community and see others, I think there's some accountability there too, of when you see the buddy that you used to play baseball with is sitting there saying this isn't okay. There's probably a little bit inside of you that says, hey, I don't want to let him down. Right. we didn't let each other down growing up. We're not going to do it now. And it makes you aware and think twice about maybe making a bad decision.
Well, Tim made a point here. By the way, the number to remember to call, 318-513-9373, 318-513-9373. Make a pledge, any size, any contribution. Most welcome. The major fundraiser for DART, Domestic Abuse Resistance Team. And Tim had talked about, I just lost that train of thought on that question.
Hey, we said we're going to wing it.
We're winging it right now. I tell you what, stick and stay. Larry, let's play one more song. Folks, head on over, get some jambalaya lunch right now at Carmelone Toyota of Ruston for only $10. When we return, we'll wrap this up and continue a radiothon here on the Our Country Q94.1.